So, you probably read the title of this video and you're thinking, how do you hate the DOT already? You're 15. Well, I have reason. So at the beginning of the summer, I took driver's ed. And if you haven't taken driver's ed before, or your state doesn't require it, it is literally the stupidest thing you will ever do. I got a C in driver's ed. If you have taken driver's ed before, you're probably thinking, how do you get a C? I mean, while it is really stupid, it's also really easy. I mean, you just have to show up basically. Well, I am talented and I do poorly in things that most normal people don't. So I mostly did driver's ed, other than the fact the state of Iowa requires you to do it. I mostly did it because I wanted to get my school permit at the beginning of the school year. And normally, after you completed driver's ed, you could just go into the DOT office in the courthouse and then give them the certificate saying that you passed driver's ed, and then you get your school permit and everything would be all happy. But since I did so poorly in driver's ed, it wasn't that simple for me. I had to drive with someone from the DOT before I could get my school permit, just to prove that I could not kill myself or others while I was driving. And I was really upset about this for several reasons, because I'm not one that does poorly in things. This is really unusual for me to do. So I mean, I was upset, mostly at myself for that. And I was also upset because my twin brother Ethan, who also did driver's ed with me, did not have to drive with the DOT officer because he did well. And if he found out that I had to do that, or drive with the DOT officer, he would hold it over my head to no end. So I was he can't find out. I had to keep it a secret from him. So 2 Fridays ago, my dad and I went into the DOT office, and I was all mad for reasons I stated before, and then I was getting myself all worked up because I didn't want to drive the DOT officer. And we get up to the counter because we had to wait in a ridiculously long line. And the woman at the front counter is time is scheduled today, so you'll have to drive on Monday. I got myself all worked up for nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's ridiculous. And Monday rolls around, and so we go back to the DOT, and I'm feeling pretty confident. I feel like I can do this. And so we're waiting, and then this really crabby looking middle-aged woman comes out. She's like, Olivia here, she needs to drive with me. So we go, me and the DOT lady go out to our car. She tells me to get in and roll down the window. And then when I do that, she tells me to turn the headlights on. And I have a brain fart, and I can't remember how to turn on the headlights. And I laugh when I get stressed out, so I'm sitting behind the steering wheel laughing because I can't figure out how to turn on the headlights, and she's just standing in front of the car kind of looking at me all weird. You can probably tell where this story is going. Needless to say, after the headlight incident, it all just went downhill from there, and I didn't pass. So now I have to retake the stupid test, and it's gonna be even way harder to hide from Ethan. And as I said before, he'll just hold over my head no end. So we scheduled the retake of the test on Monday, which was today because this was last week. And we scheduled it at 8, which is 2 hours before I normally wake up. Just a wonderful way to start off the day. Oh, let's just go to the DOT and deal with the freaking officer. I'm bitter, if you can't tell. It was kind of awkward going to the DOT 3 times in 2 weeks because it's always the same people working there, and they know you haven't passed your test, so it's I always feel like they're judging me. But anyway, so we get there, and there's no one there since the DOT just opened, and I take the test, and it goes way better this time. So I passed. Not really that big of a deal, but yeah, I passed, and Ethan never found out, and he's not going to find out. This is something I'm going to carry to the grave, unless he watches this video, or hears me talking. So yeah, those are the reasons I don't like the DOT. Do you think they're justified? Maybe? Also, I'd like to thank Lovesick Llama, Champ on Coma, Nick Bishop Music, a bit of everything. We Are Stupid Kids, and I don't know how to say this one, so I'm just gonna put it right there. Thanks to those people for subscribing. You should check out their channels, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.